Austin is growing in popularity as a place to live and visit. It's known for being the live music capital of the world, having amazing food, and just being weird. One of the city's most unique activities is enjoying the evening flight of the Mexican free-tailed bats that have made this bridge in downtown Austin their home. The bats that live in Austin are the Mexican free-tailed bats. They are one of the most abundant mammals in North America. Extremely fast flyers, Mexican free-tailed bats are the jets of the bat world. With their elongated, narrow, and pointed wings, these bats soar in swift, straight flight patterns, reaching top ground speeds of over 100 miles per hour, the fastest horizontal speed of any animal. The Mexican free-tailed bats can be found throughout the southern half of the U.S., most of Mexico, and most of Central and South America. The largest known colony is found at Bracken Cave.
In the case of the Mexican free-tailed bats, they love living in caves. And in particular, they love living in caves over water where they can easily find a place to drink. And so when we made the Congress Street Bridge in the early 80s, they included all these little cracks along it that are just about 4 inches wide. And these cracks, they're really meant to design so it can expand and shrink a little bit in different temperatures, but they happen to make it so it's the perfect crack size for these bats to live really happily because they love living in little tiny crevices. And so because of that, it's a really great environment for them. There's also a lot of farmland nearby outside the city. And these guys are such good distance flyers that they're totally happy to commute out to the country to eat every night. Some bats actually really thrive in human-dominated environments. Bats love caves, and humans essentially make great caves. So some bats, like the Mexican free-tailed bats, actually do quite well around humans in bridges and in other human man-made structures.
Historically, Mexican free-tailed bats have inhabited Austin since before the city was even founded in the 1840s. Though the bats are seen as friendly neighbors today, the bats caused mass hysteria among the early settlers. The completion of Congress Avenue Bridge in 1980 established a proper home for the colony, and by 1984 the population had peaked at 750,000 adults.
The bats chose the bridge, and the only danger they were ever in was when people were so scared in Austin that they wanted to remove them from the bridge. People were really freaked out by them at first. You know, the bridge was redesigned in the early 1980s, and you can even see there's a copy of the Austin American-Statesman that's bat colony sinks its teeth into Austin, and then the whole article is how are we gonna get rid of them? And no one was oh no, they're cute. Oh, they could be the new symbol of our ice hockey team. Yeah, so it's definitely evolved into a whole new cultural significance. I mean, we're Bat City now. I mean, that's how people can refer to us, and people come from all over the world to see the bats, and there's statues of them all over town, bars and restaurants named after them. There's a Battini that you can order at the Driscoll. I mean, yeah, I feel they've definitely made their emblem pretty known here in town now in a super positive way. Yeah, I love it. I'm not afraid of anything, so I feel that's kind of something that hinders people from embracing bats, is having this societally impressed upon them fear of bats. And I mean, in terms of any reason to actually be scared of a bat is on the exact same level as any other wild animal. I mean, be respectful and aware of it, but bats are adorable. They're beautiful, and I mean, it just takes my breath away every night watching them fly out. And I feel that's been the biggest thing, is just it is beautiful. It's anything that's been going on in my day, and work can get stressful and it's so hot. I get out on the boat, and the bats start flying out, and it's just the most like beautiful ribbon of these beautiful animals, and like everyone stops talking and we just watch them. It's like it's just so special, and this is the only place in the whole entire world where it exists, and like it just takes my breath away every time. I'm like, bat therapy.
Austin is known as the bat capital of America. Bat tourism brings in an estimated $10 million annually.
I mean, we've got an attraction here that no one else can compete with us. We have the world's best, and it has a huge potential for exploitation way beyond anything we've yet done. We haven't done much to help people see the bats when they come to Austin. The plants have grown up in the wrong places to obstruct viewing, but there's so much more we could do, and we are becoming gradually the world center for educating people to understand the value of living safely and productively with bats. I founded Merle and Tuttle's Bat Conservation because I was deeply concerned about the number of people beginning to fear bats again. In the 70s and 80s, it was almost universally believed that all bats, or most of them, were rabid. I often have people ask, how come so many people fear bats? Is it because of Dracula, or, No, what it is we just all fear most what we understand least. We don't have to do anything other than just quit fearing and killing bats, protect the few places they need to live. I mean, what's it cost us to let bats live under the Congress Avenue Bridge? What's it cost us not to destroy a cave like Bracken Cave near San Antonio, which I'm proud to have spent years getting protected? Bats from that one cave eat up to 100 tons or more of insects in a single night. In a single night.
Bat watching has become a large hobby and point of attraction for Austinites and visitors alike. Who knew such a small mammal could have such a big impact on what keeps Austin weird?